Till I Die TV. Watch and subscribe on YouTube and listen on your podcast platform.
Hi everybody, Jerry Taggart here. Now be sure to watch Chris and Leicester Till I Die TV by subscribing on YouTube and following them on social media for all the latest Leicester City news and information. Come on you foxes!
Strap yourself in because we're set up, switched on and ready to go.
Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And it's live.
Good evening, fellow England fans. How are you? Hey, 3 Lions and all that. It's the first time in 25 years we have made it to the Euros semi-finals. How good does that sound? Are you listening, Wales? Are you listening, Scotland? Euros semi-final for England. And I tell you what, unlike Wales and Scotland, we don't suffer from premature elation. No, we don't celebrate until we've got something to celebrate. And we are in the semi-finals. Ukraine 0, England 4. It was like watching Leicester, wasn't it? I was expecting 9. Maybe that's a bit much, but you know what I mean.
It's the Euros 2020 with Chris and Leicester Till I Die TV.
We've got a couple of guests joining us now, and I'm sure they're as happy as I am. First of all, let's say good evening to Danny. Or you've probably seen him before. Good evening, sir.
Evening, Chris. How you doing?
I'm all right. Like you, I used to have hair at the beginning of the competition. And let's bring one of the guests in here from a Man United fan, but we welcome him anyway. Omondi, you've been on the channel before. Good evening, Omondi.
Hello, Chris. How are you doing? And Harry, how are you doing? I am great after seeing the performance.
First of all, before we get too happy, give us a shout out for your social media channels.
Do you want to go first, Harry?
No, he's with Leicester, so he's okay.
Okay, all right, yeah.
And it's Daniel, by the way. It's Daniel.
Oh, Daniel. Sorry, Daniel. Yeah, Daniel.
Don't worry, Omondi. We've called him a lot worse when he's not online.
So you can catch me at the Man United Agenda. That's FTB Sports, and we're all about Man United and football. And you can also catch me on Twitter and TikTok and Facebook. Yeah, just look me up.
Yeah,
and you can also catch me on Chris's show when I'm invited. Yeah,
it's an open invitation for you, Omondi. You know that. Hey guys, I mean, I didn't see that coming. Did you, Daniel?
I was quite nervous about it, but to be honest, because I've got memories of Iceland and those kind of matches. So it's like a banana skin, wasn't it? Really, potentially. So I was a bit worried about it.
It was. Omondi, don't tell me you had a bet on at 4-0.
No, I had no bets. I was confident they would win, but I wasn't sure about the scoreline or anything like that. I just felt that because they had to go back from a 5 to a 4, I thought they'd get more chances and opportunity. And Ukraine, as good as they are, pound for pound, they can't match that England side if they're managed correctly. So yeah, great win.
Going to say hi to Warren, who's joining us all the way from Australia. Warren, hey, mate, Australia, I've got to give you credit. You're a Leicester fan. This isn't even a Leicester stream, and you were up. Are you an England fan that's emigrated out there, or are you an Australia fan who just knows what, to support a good nation? Good evening to Brad. First team in the Euros to go 5 games in a row without conceding. Football's coming home. Omondi, I can't remember whether you were pro or anti Southgate, but I mean, you'd have his children now, wouldn't you?
I'm not getting that excited. I don't want my kids to have a big nose like Gonzo. But yeah, he's done really well. He seems to be astute. I think he's using Steve Holland as well as backup there. He's probably not probably not getting as much adulation as Southgate, but really happy with the performance. And I think we've got a good generation of young players.
I mean, Daniel, what are your thoughts on Southgate?
Well, I'm not his biggest fan, to be honest, but I'm happy to eat humble pie if I'm wrong. But I just think, like, against Scotland, for instance, we're just too defensive and too cautious. I think, but I'm happy to be wrong. You know what I mean? But I just think we haven't played anybody really good yet, and I think somebody with like Italy will just tear us a new one.
Well, I mean, I looked at Italy the other night, and I wanted Belgium. I'm not going to lie because of the Leicester connection, but Italy were my dark horses at the start for the competition. I mean, if we meet Italy, Omondi, it's going to be in the final, and then it's a one-off, and it's anybody's game.
Yeah, totally. I think everyone's talking about Italy at the moment based on how they're performing. They've got that spirit. They've got that hunger, and they look like, even when you see the bench, the management, they've got Vialli on the bench, Lombardo, all these old school great Italian greats there, and they seem to be united. So, yeah, they look fearful, but I also wouldn't write off Spain just yet, or Denmark, as you say. So bring it on. We're in the semis now, so it doesn't matter who you play. It's always going to be a top team. Takes a really good team to get this far. So, yeah, bring it on.
I mean, I know what you said there, Daniel. We haven't played anybody amazingly brilliant, but we're in the semi-finals. France would kill to be there. Belgium would kill to be there. Portugal would kill. Germany. I mean, I could go on. France. I could go on and on and on. These teams aren't there.
Chance.
We can only play. Excuse me. We can only play. Who we come up against. I mean, Omondi, people said back in the World Cup, well, until we met Belgium, we hadn't played any decent teams. But it isn't our fault. We don't pick these teams. We can only play, and if we go on and win it, are people going to say, yeah, but they had an easy run to the fight? They won't. They'll just remember us winning it, won't they?
Yeah, well, you're right there. But they did. To be honest, let's be honest now. In the World Cup, they did have an easy run, and the first big side they did come up against, they did get beaten. That's a fact. They played Panama, I remember, and some other lower nations. But this year, to come get a monkey off their back with Germany, that was huge. And you can see that could be the start of something big for England now, because even today they played a controlled game. I didn't have my heart in my mouth. They controlled the game. And that's the kind of performance you want to see. And that's the confidence you get from beating someone like Germany. That was huge, I think. So for me, so far, Germany's like their final, and it's like a huge weight off the nation's back for tradition.
It is. I mean, Daniel, Southgate seems to be getting these albatrosses off her neck every time. We've won a penalty shootout in the World Cup. We've beaten Germany for the first time in 55 years. I mean, and in this tournament, we've not conceded a goal. We've not lost a game. There's nothing more he can do apart from win the damn thing.
No, absolutely. And I'm happy to be wrong. I mean, but I mean, tonight was okay, but we're not entertaining. We're passing across the back too much for me. It's just boring a lot of the time. You know what I mean? I just like
tonight,
to see us
you on about tonight?
Well, a little bit, yeah. I mean, it's just passing across the back.
You're a tough taskmaster. You're a tough taskmaster, Daniel.
True.
4-0 in the quarterfinals of the major, probably the second biggest competition we will enter, and you're not happy.
I think Daniel should be manager of England. He's very shrewd. We've been demanding more.
Brad says
I'm not knocking the 4-0. I just I just don't think it's that entertaining. I mean, one was from a corner, one was from a free kick. Henderson's was from a corner, wasn't it, as well? So he got 3 goals from set pieces. So there was no real, apart from the first goal, from open play, was it? It was set pieces. So,
you know. Well, Leicester under Martin O'Neill made a pretty much a good hash of doing that, didn't they? I mean, Brad says here, Omondi, Italy are nothing special. I'm more worried about Denmark.
He's got a good point. I think Denmark have played well. They've got a lot of team spirit and the emotions running high after what happened in their game against Finland. So yeah, I would be worried too, because the thing is, the pressure would be on against Italy because they're a big nation. But playing Denmark, you'd expect them to win. The whole nation was expecting us to beat Ukraine. They expect us to beat Denmark. So the pressure really is on us.
I mean, I agree totally, and for once we probably won't be the neutrals' favourites at this tournament because everybody's getting behind Denmark, of course. And I was kind of worried. I mean, with Sweden, I kind of knew what we would get because we've played them before in the competitions. But Ukraine, I was worried, Daniel, and I mean, what a start! Less than 5 minutes. Up pots Harry. I mean, God, he got that goal and he's off and running now, isn't he?
Sometimes you can score too early there, can't you? You know what I mean? Sometimes it can be,
There's just no faith in you at all.
No, but you know what I mean? Sometimes it can be, a bad thing to score too early. You know what I mean? It's.
I was happy when I came on here, Daniel.
There's a dark cloud now.
we do know if you score early, it can be a long sort of 80-odd minutes.
I made a prediction England would win 1-0 to a friend before the game. And I texted him afterwards saying, after the goal, I said, it could be in for a long night if my prediction is right. But,
I mean, again, that we were in that first half. I mean, I'd probably say towards the end, Ukraine, once they made the substitution, which was forced upon them, they looked the better team. At the start, I think they were just there. I thought, I know they were playing in Roma Stadium, but I thought Mourinho was in charge because they were just parking the bus, weren't they, Ukraine? They had like 10 at the back or something. But in that first half, up until the change, they were just there for the taking. They were just letting us go at them.
But to be honest, there wasn't much room to play in. And we had to force it and create that chance for Harry Maguire, So because they did shut up shop, like you said, they did. It was a Mourinho big old bust out there. But once that goal came, they had to open up, and they went forward at the back once the defender got injured. So that opened the game up for us. It's to our advantage, I'd say. So 4 goals is if you press us, you're likely to get burned.
Yeah, well, indeed, and they did, and I never felt, Daniel, in that first half. I can say this now with the confidence that we've won 4-0, but in that first half, I never really felt worried.
Well, there was one moment when that Yamchuk got in behind, and I think Pickford made a really good save from him. So there was 1 or 2 moments, I think, and. There was that moment in the second half as well when Pickford came out of his area and sliced a kick. We've got a Rickeners at the back, and that just worries me a little bit. I'm sorry, I'm the big pessimist tonight, aren't I? But
well, you've actually, Daniel, whatever you've actually managed to get Brad singing. And Brad, I have the words ready for you. I'm going on the bottom. So if anybody wants to, Omondi looks very musical. If you want to burst into song, don't stop you. Second half came on, and we started up again like we started the first half. And if one Harry doesn't get you, the other one does, Omondi.
Oh my gosh, Harry Maguire, take a bow. After this tournament, it's going to be Sir Harry Maguire. Honestly, jokes aside, and I know we've all got a connection with Harry Maguire here, but I am predicting, well, I've just said it, he's a world-class player. He's one of the best centre-backs in Europe, if not the world. And he's proven it time and time again. I mean, composure on the ball, wins his headers, a threat, doesn't get beat that often, physically, can manage anybody, reads the game, controls the line. There's so much confidence there for Manchester United. When we haven't got him, we've got issues. And the same will apply to England. We need to keep that guy in ice, you know, to keep him nice and cool, ready for the next game, because he is so important out there. And like I say, I'm saying without Harry Maguire, England would have problems. He is one of our only world-class players, in my opinion. Thank you, Leicester City.
Thanks for the 80 million.
Yeah, we had a bit of that banter earlier on Twitter, didn't we? But Daniel, I mean, yeah, ex-Leicester player. We know he struggled that first season at Man United, but he got the captaincy. He looks a complete defender. He's on a yellow card. Did he play? I don't think. Is it white now?
Yeah, I think that's white now. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Well, Brad in the chat. Can you check that and see if it is white? Because we had 3, I think, on yellow cards, didn't we?
Yeah,
and Rice and who else was on the yellow card? Who played next to Rice? I've forgotten his name. Phillips, that's it. I wanted to say Pickford, but I know it began with a P. But yeah, Maguire, he's been a rock in this tournament, and I say it hurts me to say it because of the ex-Leicester and the Man United thing, but he has played really well, hasn't he?
Yeah. You
know, you can't. But Omondi, I've got to ask, where's Luke Shaw come from?
Okay, I think last season we were raving about him on our show. We were calling him Shawdinho, like a Brazilian, because he's been fantastic. Obviously, we get to watch every game, and we sort of can showcase him a lot more. But finally, I'm really pleased for him because he's coming back from a broken leg, and he's proven he got a bit of bad vibes from Mourinho, and that could have destroyed someone's confidence. And now he's fulfilling his potential at the right age. And I couldn't ask for more from a player, you know. He looks fantastic out there. And not just that, for England as well. You had Ben Chilwell looking $1 million in the Champions League final. So it's looking good for England in the fullback positions.
I don't think he started the game well. Do you think he started the game well, Shaw?
I'm not going to fault him. I thought he played fantastic. He was just trying to do the right things. Obviously, you're playing against a team that was sitting back. So if he's trying to play penetrating passes, I know he gave away a couple 2 passes early on in the game, but it's the right thing to do, and we were covered. Harry was there to cover it, to sweep it all up. And why are you being so negative?
Hey, I'm the devil's advocate. I'm trying to keep everybody grounded.
Can I just say, and nobody clip this because I'm never going to admit to actually saying this, but Luke Shaw was my man of the match. I thought he actually had a brilliant match. And I've just checked on the BBC website here, and actually he has got the man of the match from the viewers. I don't know who got it on the show because I turned off at the end to come on here. But Luke Shaw, 8.25. I mean, you know, Kane, 7.93. Maguire, 7.85. I mean, these are great scores to be seeing, aren't they, at this stage? And we didn't just sneak past this team. You know, we absolutely, I mean, you know, we've said earlier on Omondi that we were looking at, you know, the Spain when they got 5 and all these other teams that were scoring these big results. And now we've gone and done it.
Yeah, but
people are going to.
I think when you come to this stage in the tournament, with teams like Ukraine, they haven't got a squad depth. So if you let off a little bit, one of the guys get injured, and to be able to maintain the concentration levels and play at that level, they've reached their peak. They've reached their plateau now, and the quarter's probably the maximum. They've overachieved. So they did take a bit of a caning tonight, but I think they've come up against the side. And you have to factor in as well, the heat out there is pretty hot and humid in Rome this time of year, you know. So they took their league well.
A drinks break.
Yeah, good shout.
I mean, didn't they, qualifying? So they've done well to get into the actual final 8. So
agreed.
Whoever you play in the final 8 are going to be good anyway. But yeah, I didn't, unless I missed it, because I did have several trips to the little boys' room, or I could say in my case, the massive boys' room. Not that I like to brag or anything, but Daniel, they didn't have a drinks break, did they?
I didn't see. No, they didn't.
No.
I mean, he only played about 5 seconds injury time. You know, he literally blew up straight away. So there was no stoppage in the second half.
No, and
going forward, going forward to the World Cup, they're going to have drink breaks. I don't think it was essential in this tournament, but yeah, definitely the next World Cup, 100%.
I think aren't they in air-conditioned stadiums though?
That's Rome. Is Rome that Olympic Stadium's like big old wide glass stadium, isn't it?
Oman, isn't it?
Oh, right.
In Qatar, I think they've got the roofs and it's air conditioned. We shall see. We shall see.
Yeah.
I just want to ask this of Omondi, being a Man United fan, and I will clip this if he says something nice. What did you think of Jordan Henderson? He came on, got a goal.
Okay, I'm happy for him. His celebration reminded me of Stuart Pearce when he scored a penalty against Spain, that sort of thing. You can see he came on and he was hunting around. I want that goal, because he would have been one of the first players to get 50 caps and no goals. I think there's only 7 of them for England at the moment. So well done to Jordan Henderson. I think he goes to the guy, good run. It was another set play, which obviously coming from the training ground. So another set play, corner. He goes to the guy, had freedom of it, the whole park, and just finished his dinner, spoon-fed. So what more could you ask? But well done, Jordan Henderson.
Yeah, I was pleased for him. He deserved it. Yeah.
And then, of course, Harry got another goal as well. When I say Harry, of course, Harry Kane this time.
You want that, Daniel?
Sorry, Daniel. Yeah, go for that, Daniel. Sorry.
Yeah, what was the second Harry Kane goal? Was that from a corner? The free kick, no, corner, wasn't it? Was it from a corner, that one? Can't remember.
No, it was a header from open play.
I think, wasn't it? Yeah.
I can't remember.
Wasn't it a header from open play?
I'm just trying to have a look now.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. It was from a set piece, though, wasn't it?
Was it from a set piece? Yeah.
No. It was a header from open play. I'm sure Raheem Sterling done a little flick for Luke Shaw to do the overlap, and he crossed it in, and he headed it down between the keeper's legs. It was in open play.
That's right. It was straight for his legs.
It was.
I remember now. Because he did go straight for his legs, didn't it? Yeah, it was a good.
Yeah.
But just one thing. I mean, Harry Kane's been getting a lot of stick. There's question marks about whether he's world class or not. If you look at his goals in the World Cup, he had one deflected goal. He had a couple of tap-ins, and he scored a couple of penalties. So today he scored 2 spoon-fed goals. He couldn't miss, And even the first one made me laugh, because he's got one pace. He's not very fast. He managed to be onside when Sterling played him in the first goal in the first 5 minutes, and another striker would have got there, stood up, but he had to get there and just get his toe to it. That's how slow he is. So he's getting fed, and the important thing for me is that Harry Kane has to stay on the last man. Stop coming deep, because there's no one in the box. Push on the last man, and you'll get your goals. And as we've seen today, he's got 2. So congratulations.
Yeah, like you say, at the end of the day, we know you still got to get the ball in the back of the net, even if it's spoon fed to you. We've seen Harry a lot where it's dropped off him. And then Daniel, we make it 4, and Southgate makes the changes. The thing that's impressed me with Southgate is his man. Everybody's been moaning about all the teams that he's picked, but he's managing the squad so well, isn't he?
He appears to be. Yeah, I mean, I'd have liked to have seen Grealish come on at that point. Really kill him off. You know what I mean? And he could have really opened the book, couldn't he? But obviously, he knows what he's doing. So.
But do you think
it to him? He knows more than I do.
Omondi, I always thought we might see Grealish, but they said, and I was surprised Grealish didn't start, but they made the comment on the TV before the game that, one of Grealish's strengths is when the opposition's knackered towards the end, that he can just come on and he can literally punish them more by doing that than being on from the start.
Well,
I've heard that comment as well. Yeah, I heard that one as well, and I agree with it. It does make a lot of sense, but I also think when you're playing against the higher level teams, because when we look at Mount, what I think his advantage is, he will press, he will work. In this heat today, he's done a lot of good positional work. I don't know if you remember in the first half, he was back in our box and stood up for a tackle, didn't dive in, stood up and blocked 2 blocks. That sort of thing. Mount done well. He was professional with his positioning. And his work rate. But with Grealish, when you come up against these top Spanish or Italian sides, maybe in the final, hopefully, I think he should be playing, because that ball retention, the free kicks, look how good we are set pieces today, conceded, getting free kicks against him, on him, that sort of thing will be really effective for England. So I think he deserves a start, because the whole nation, you can see, as fans, and the whole nation want to see him play a full 90 minutes. Because he will deliver. But where do you play him? I think now you've got an issue with Saka, and Sterling has to play. Sancho had a great game today. So these guys, I don't think they're in contention because they're quicker than Grealish. I think Grealish is fighting for Mason Mount's place, which is number 10 if you play a 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3.
Yeah, I mean, you notice, Daniel, that as soon as Sancho signs for Man United, he gets picked.
Yeah. I mean, we've got so
not
many
that I'm saying, not that I'm
yeah.
being a conspiracy theorist
Yeah.
at all here. But
I'd just like to see a lot more positive players like Foden, Grealish, Saka, Sancho on from the start, and let's go for teams. It's all. I mean, it's working great. I mean, I'm happy to be proved wrong. I don't want to sound too negative, but I just want us to be entertaining. I want us to do it with some style and flair. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hello to Bronze. I mean, we're saying give all these players game time, but how do you change a winning team? I mean, if I was Southgate and I'm looking at who's going to start in the semis, I would be looking at who started in this game. And apart from making one or two changes and a formation change, which he seems to get right depending who we're playing, this is the starting team are doing all right for him. And it doesn't matter who you've got on the bench, you can't change a winning team, can you?
No, you can't.
Yeah, you can't. You have to go along with it. I think the main thing is being defensively sound, and the shape has to be right, and you need players in there going to contribute what you want to deliver out there. So today was perfect. I wouldn't personally pick Mount, but I understand why he put in there for that shape to keep that. Because remember, you're leaving two guys like Phillips and Rice in there. They're able to adjust. Ukraine play quick, fast ball and quick tight passing. They can get forward quite easily. So it was good for Mount to be in there with the legs to get back and be responsible in that respect. So going against the Danes, you have to analyse what their strengths and weaknesses are, and then decide what players should be put in there. And obviously they'll be thinking about that already. I don't know if you guys have watched the Danes. They played earlier today, but we probably had a chance to see 2 or 3 of their games this tournament. So we have to say, are they going to get in behind us? Maybe not. Are they going to have they got pace on the flanks or anything like that? Maybe not. How do they play? Well, they're probably a British style kind of team. They're nothing. They haven't got any sort of outstanding world-class players in there, but they're effective. So the management need to look at that and decide what players are going to be more suitable for the next game.
Daniel, I mean, Box is saying good evening, Box. There, his team would be Pickford, Trippier, Maguire, Stone, Shaw, Rice, Phillips, Foden, Grealish, Kane, Sterling. Again, the bones of that are pretty much the bones of the team that started. Mm-hmm. But did you? I mean, we've shown that Southgate's not averse to starting with 3 or starting with 4, depending who he plays against. He makes those changes, and the team seems to be able to adapt. Do you think we look more comfy with the 3 or the 4 at the back?
I think we look better with the 4. To be fair, personally,
yes,
and
Omondi
we offered more going forward.
Mm.
Yeah, I totally agree with Daniel. You make good points there. Yeah, I prefer the 4, especially with Harry Maguire in there. With Tyrone Mings, I'd be a bit, my heart's in my mouth. But with Harry Maguire there, you got to go for it. And if you start playing this 5, and this is the issue I've got, you play against Spain or Italy, you play that 5 at the back, which is going to invite pressure, and we'll be sitting back against talented teams who like to retain the ball in the opposition half. That's going to be an issue. I'd rather we play 4 at the back against both these teams, the semi-final and the final if we make it, and just give that threat, because when you have that threat with Sterling and Kane hopefully pushing on to the last man, and Saka or whoever's on the right, that's pace that will stretch the defence back. So they'll be thinking twice about pushing high or sort of camping it in our half, in the opposition half, which would be our half. So I think the 4 would be better suited to it, but then you have to be disciplined with it as well. And if you notice, I don't know if you guys noticed, but the 4 defenders play really well. I don't know if it's Harry organising or whatever, but they play they tuck in. You see what I'm saying? And if the ball goes out wide, then they all shuffle over to the right, or they all shuffle over to the left. Because you cross the ball in, Harry Maguire's all day. You understand what I'm saying? So that's not going to happen. So I like the shape there, just shuffling over. You got the pace of Walker, the pace of Shaw to cover over and double up. You got Sterling and the other guy coming back to double up if that was the case. and I think they're well drilled in that's kind of system. And most of the teams in the Premiership seem to play that now, even your own Leicester.
Yeah.
Would
you agree with that comment, Daniel?
Yeah,
that Omondi's just made.
Yeah, I think the shape of the defence has looked quite good. But like I say again, if you get like attackers that sort of Italy have got, I think they could possibly cause some problems with some real pace that they possess. But I tell you, somebody who deserves a lot of credit, I think, in this England team is Sterling for how he's performed. He has been absolutely superb, and he's been the best player for me on the pitch. I mean, there was some occasions when he was running back, chasing back, and helping out the defence tonight, and I thought it was outstanding. Yes. There was one where the ball was going to go out for a throw-in. It was a poor pass from somebody in midfield, and he actually almost kept it in. It ran about half a length of the pitch to try and keep it in. And I'd just like to see that sort of determination. I thought it was great.
I've been very critical of Sterling, even in the first game of this tournament, until he scored. Of course, then I thought he was wonderful. Best thing since sliced bread. Hey, it's called being a football fan. You know what I mean?
Indeed.
But yes, I mean, I have to admit he's coming to his own this season. I mean, I just want to bring something up here, Omondi, that Bronze Plumber said. After the goal, the first half was so I've put my teeth in and tried that again. After the goal, the first half was terrible. I thought it was all right. I thought we played well in that.
Very good.
It did get a little shaky after the goal. It did for a short period, but it wasn't long. We just seemed to lose our way a little bit, and they came on to us a little bit after that. They changed their shape slightly, and they kind of matched up for us a bit. And I think have a little spell.
I think once we scored the early goal, we probably weren't expecting to score that early because of the way they shaped up. But if you notice, before the goal, we were probing, and playing in their half comfortably, But once we scored, we set up the shape. This is what I'm saying. I was saying to my friend, the shape was we set up really well. So the back four, where we were positioned, we didn't need to push on so much. We just kept the ball ticking over and let them come at us a little bit so we can get more opportunities like that. So I was really impressed with the first half, the way the in-game management, how the players, all the management on Southgate set it up, because we didn't have to push on anymore. He said, all right, we're up, you have to come at us. And they obviously, they were drilled from the start to be defensive. So they had to change their whole mindset. So that was a big issue for them. So to the eye, we might be thinking, oh, come on, press. But what I saw was an intelligent, positional sense and a great shape, which invited pressure on. We were still comfortable, and we could hit them on the break, because they was, like you were saying, Daniel, they were scared of the pace. Sterling running at you, doesn't matter who you are. Even against Germany, what really impressed me was when we had Sterling and these wingers running at the German players, and they were really like, oh my God, when do I put my foot in? They were really wobbly about it. So that just shows you, you don't want to have these guys come up against you one-on-one. So it's really, Ukraine had a massive dent to their whole system. The whole last 3-4 days of planning was dented by that first goal.
Yeah. Well, I think they had a lot of energy taken out of them in the Sweden game, because it went to extra time, didn't it? So, they had a lot of energy taken out of them. So I think they suffered from that. They looked leggy, didn't they, towards the end anyway?
Totally.
They did.
Totally.
As Brad says there, we had to just figure out their new shape. You saw K-Mouth, they're going 4-4-2 on attack. Yeah, that was highlighted. Daniel, semi-final. We've got Denmark. Would you prefer Denmark or Czech Republic?
Ooh, don't know. It's a difficult one. That I probably prefer Denmark, actually. Yeah, I think Denmark are very similar to. They're like an English style, aren't they? Almost. I think they'd be very similar to us. So I think player for player, I think we should beat them, shouldn't we? But who knows? It's a one-off game, isn't it? So.
And Omondi,
they've got a fantastic goalkeeper.
This is true. Can we kind of?
He's so good.
Can we nobble him before the game? Any chance of that? Stick Danny Ward. Get Danny Ward. Say he's not well. Stick Danny Ward in his place. Omondi, Are you happier that it's Denmark, or would you have sooner seen us play the Czech Republic again?
Either. I don't see with both teams. I speak for both teams. Are they going to get behind us? Are they going to play? Are they going to be able to play in front of us and play through us? No.
Yeah.
Are they going to be able to get behind us? No. What's their best chance of scoring against us? Probably set pieces. But we've got that controlled at the moment. I think we're doing really well with that. So I don't see any threat from these teams. So I'm saying the only teams I see threat from are these elite, world-class teams like Germany created chances against us. Remember? Did Ukraine didn't create anything?
Any good, of course.
Well, they didn't finish the dinner, but like Ukraine, they didn't create any chances. So when we're saying, oh, we didn't play well after the goal or whatever, they never created anything. Do you see what I'm saying? So these players are quite comfortable. Harry Stones and Maguire, they were strolling out there. But when you saw Stones and Maguire against Germany, they were tracking one. They went on a couple of good sprints to try and catch a guy. They were caught out a couple of times, you know. So this is the thing. So I don't see Denmark. It's going to be another stroll against Denmark or Czechs because they haven't got the pace. They haven't got the ability to shred balls in and beat us like that. So I'm not worried about that at all. The only thing that's going to mess us up is maybe injury or Tyrone Mings coming in defence.
They've got a fantastic team spirit though, and that shouldn't be underestimated from the Danes. I mean, obviously, what happened to Christian Eriksen, it seems to have given them a good, a sort of steel, you know, to do it for him, sort of thing. So
almost like running on adrenaline, aren't they? But I'm just going to say this, and just so we can enjoy the moment, and then we've got a special announcement. But England are in the Euro semi-finals.
Unbelievable, Jeff.
Who's that, Lionel Richie? All night long, let's go.
It kind of is, isn't it? I mean, I said, you know, guys, you know, could we? And we're going to end it now, but just last question for you: could we go all the way? Let's start with Omondi.
In a word, yes. From what we've seen so far, we've like you say, in the Germany game was huge. That was huge to building that confidence. So if you ask the players now after getting through that and beating them 2-0, I mean, come on now, that's a good result. Clean sheets so far. Confidence from today. We should go in to beat Denmark, even though they beat us last game at Wembley. Harry Maguire got sent off, by the way. But we should go and beat Denmark. But the problem lies when you come against an elite team like Spain or Italy, one of the two we're going to be coming up against in the final if we do. And the answer is yes, we can beat them. But this is where people need to become legends because millions, it's on terrestrial TV, millions are watching it. Step up, guys. No matter who you are, it could be any one of these guys will be a hero. Step up and be a hero and be a Sir Harry Maguire or Sir Harry Kane or whatever. You got the opportunity to now. Seize the day. This is it, England. You can do it. And like shows like this one, Chris, the energy is really good. And I'm sure it's like this all around the country. Everyone's going to be celebrating tonight. But this is it's part of history. Seize it. Be like 66. And look how Bobby Moore was treated and all the England players and the coach and everything else. It's the opportunity. So players, you need to get into their heads, get a hypnotist or something and say, seize the day, seize the moment. You can. Yes, you can do it. And I'm sure everyone here is agreeing with me. They can do it based on what we've seen. There's not much, even though Italy and Spain are good, it's not outstanding where we think, oh my God, you know, we're actually thinking, yeah, you're good, but you're going to fear us as well. So let's go, England. You can do it. Because one more thing. 1990 World Cup final against Germany. They would have played Diego Maradona's Argentina in the final. That was a winnable game as far as I'm concerned. Same with 96 in the Euros. They lost to Germany again. They would have played who? Czech Republic in the finals. Or Czechoslovakia, whoever they were at the time. No, Czech Republic. And that was a winnable game. So come on, guys. Take it one step further. Let's do this.
We'll take that as a yes, Daniel.
I agree. We can 100% do it. We can 100% do it. We've got 2 games at home.
They are. I mean, that's going to be an advantage, hasn't it?
A massive advantage. And there'll be full houses, I believe, for the final at least.
And,
sorry. More importantly, Chris, what do you think? Can we do it? you're the wisest here. You're the oldest, the wisest. You tell us, can we do it?
One out of two is not bad, but I think it was the first one, not the latter. Yeah, being a Leicester fan, and Daniel will back me up here. It's hard to get overly excited until it's actually done, because England, a bit like Leicester, we have this great habit of shooting ourselves in the foot. Like being in the top 4 all season for 2 seasons until the last game, and then dropping out. I think getting to the final would be. Sorry, Brad's just said, "Don't sit on the fence on Monday." But getting to the final would be a great thing. I think Southgate. I'm a Southgate fan, and I think he's the man to take us forward. I hope he signs a new contract. He's proved he's got the doubters off his back. He can't have done any more. Okay, look, you're saying he didn't do well against Scotland. That's one game we haven't won. It's the only game we haven't won, and it was against Scotland, and it meant a bit more to them. How many games apart from Italy? Portugal, everybody lost a game. We haven't yet. And that's and I think, Southgate, he's proved his doubters wrong in this tournament. And again, you could say we've got the easier half, but like with the World Cup, it's not his fault. And I think he's building something really, really good here. And yes, I honestly think, you get to the final and it's at Wembley. The fans were fantastic today. To be honest with you, it was like being at Wembley. To say that there weren't supposed to be any English fans there, that's all I could hear.
I actually saw a Leicester flag there in the crowd.
Yes, there was a Leicester, yeah. Didn't see any Man United flags, but I did see a Leicester flag.
We're all in London.
You're all in London, exactly, yeah. But, when we get to the final is a one-off. And anything, well, they're all one-offs, but you know what I mean? It's, you don't know who's going to freeze, who's going to, is it going to be an advantage to England being at home? There's no reason, looking at this team, why we can't. And I think Spain and Italy will have looked at that tonight, because nobody expected that result 4-0. I'd have taken 1-0. I thought it was going to be, I went for 1-0 because I thought that's what it was going to be. But, that performance, I think you'll have had Italy, Spain, and Denmark all sat there going, Jesus Christ. And I think what England are doing this tournament is what the Germans are very, very good at doing. And that's warming up as you get into the tournament, getting better and getting better. And, you look at that performance and you look at, against the performance against Scotland. And England are always slow. In Euro 96, we couldn't get past Switzerland. There's all these times when we have struggled. So, again, a long answer, but yes, I do honestly think we can do it. Come on, we can do it.
Yeah.
Come on, 3 Lions and all that. Come on, we've got to do it. Brilliant. Guys, thanks for coming on.
No worries.
Thank you.
Every time I do one of these, I think, it could be the last one because we could get knocked out. But we go on. We go on. We're like that night in. Anybody ever watch Monty Python and the Holy Grail? And you got the Black Knight who gets his arm chopped off.
Yes.
Carry on. Yeah, just really
it's only
just my flesh wound.
Yeah, that's it. I feel like that. We're dragging ourselves along here, game by game, Omondi, give another quick shout out to your channels for us.
Yeah, everyone tune in to. First of all, this channel is the best channel. I mean, I must admit. But if you're not tuning to Chris, come and tune into the Man United agenda. We don't just focus on Man United. It's football related. We got a nice panel out there. So it's the Man United agenda. Hope to see you guys around.
Brilliant. Take care, mate. Stay safe. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Mate.
Cheers, mate. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Daniel, I almost thought you get excited then. It is. I didn't think we'd still be talking now, to be honest with you. I thought we'd have, but we are. We are still talking. It's Denmark. It's Wednesday, 8 o'clock-ish, I think it is. Yeah, we can do this, can't we?
We can. 100% we can do it. I mean, two games at home, we can do it.
2 games away from lifting the first major trophy since 1966. Dare I mention that number?
Yeah. We need to get that off our backs, really.
We do. This is it.
Hung over us too. It's a psychological scar on the nation. You know what I mean? That we can't get past. 1966. It'd be amazing for the country if we could just, get it off our backs. It's like Leicester winning the FA Cup. We've done it now.
Yes.
We can do it
and
again.
to be honest with you, Southgate's the man. Like I say, he's got the penalty shootout off our back. He's got,
like I said at the start,
the Germany off the back.
I was a Southgate doubter, but I'm happy to be proved wrong. You know what I mean? I don't care if we play defensive in the next 2 games, as long as we win. At the end of the day, I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be celebrating with the rest of you. You know what I mean? It's just, I'm thinking about from the entertainment point of view. I just like to be.
We're all fans, and as fans, we do criticise the managers, but like you say, it's proved us wrong. Well, proved you wrong, because I love the guy anyways, you can see. I've had that song in my mind going across the bottom there, which is Whole Again by Atomic Kitten. I've had that in my head for the last 2 years. Hey, mate, thanks so much for coming on. Really do appreciate it. Watch out, Monday, 1 o'clock. I'm interviewing Dave Bartram from Show Waddy Waddy.
Oh, yeah.
Now you're a man of age that will remember Show Waddy Waddy, won't you?
I do remember them, yeah.
I wonder why. Oh, come on! It's the only one I can think
I like them, but I do remember them.
Come on, you can't not like them. They were from Leicester.
I know they were from Leicester, but
Yeah, mate. Thanks so much. Have a good weekend. Go off and enjoy it. Watch Match of the Day or whatever it's going to be on any time now. And we'll see you next time. Take care.
Okay. Cheers, Chris.
Thanks a lot. Cheers, mate. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks to Daniel. Thanks to Omondi. I'm going to put Omondi's link in afterwards in the description below. Hey, do you know what you're going to do? Get the mat out. Get that mat out, because you might just be having a visitor soon. Might be coming to your home. Might just indeed. Hey, what can I say? Ukraine 0, England 4. It is coming home, isn't it? See you Monday, 1 o'clock. When I say I'll be talking to Dave Bartram from Show Waddy Waddy about his career and his love of Leicester City. Have a good weekend. Go and have a drink. Good night.
Hello, Matt Elliott here. Be sure to watch Leicester Till I Die TV on YouTube. Follow all them social media platforms for all the latest updates and news on Leicester City Football Club.
Thanks for watching Leicester Till I Die. This is Chris saying goodbye and see you next time.
To an end. But the fun doesn't have to stop here. If you have any questions, suggestions, or feedback, head over right now to Twitter and Facebook and like, share, and get involved. Join us next time.